We got the win against Carolina, an amazing turnaround at halftime that energized the Cowboys to a comeback win against the Carolina Panthers. Final score was Dallas 21, Carolina 7. It's the first win at Cowboys' new stadium. They started out sluggish in the first half due to mistakes that had me thinking this team was sinking into a bad situation. It reminded me of the old teams, the 5 and 10 teams that were kind of lifeless back in the early 2000s. But Carolina made a touchdown before the half without any response from the Dallas offense to put points on the board before halftime. But something happened in the locker room at halftime to invigorate our Cowboys to winning the game. Wade Phillips said they got mad, and Romo said they felt that they were beating themselves with mistakes, and everybody committed to avoiding mistakes after the half. They came together and figured that without the mistakes they would be ahead in the game, and would have had some points on the board with all the yardage that they were making, running and passing. So Romo's more conservative passing game helped avoid interceptions. Something Tony is working on changing after getting 3 interceptions and blaming himself for the New York loss last week. In this game, Tony Romo didn't make any interceptions in this game or the first game against Tampa Bay. Having a successful running game is relieving the pressure that's put on Romo. Dallas are setting a rushing record, averaging over 8 yards a carry with Marion Barber, Felix Jones, and Tashard Choice. The last game there was gained over 200 yards rushing, and similar with the games before that. So that's hopefully that goes throughout the season. An interesting stat was that Jake Loam had 22 out of 33 completions with 3 interceptions, and Tony Romo also completed 22 out of 33 but had no interceptions and won the game. And that's just tells how to keep it away from interceptions, and if Tony Romo keeps avoiding interceptions, that whole games can be won. At the end of the game, Romo related that all quarterbacks have bad games, like he did against New York last week. But it's how a quarterback grows from that and how you bounce back. He has my backing, and I believe him that all quarterbacks ain't perfect, and in fact the last game I seen Peyton Manning actually make an interception thrown into coverage. The Dallas defense was impressive, came out after the half and literally shut out the Carolina. Best I've seen them play since last year. No points in the second half. They made consecutive 3 and outs and 2 interceptions, a fumble, and 3 sacks. So that's 3 turnovers and 3 sacks, which everybody was criticizing Dallas for having none of them before the game. So that kind of makes up for each game, having 3 of each. great players that influenced the game the most were Felix Jones, Tashard Choice, Creighton, Romo, Roy Williams, and the whole offensive line that seems to just clear out the holes for our great running backs that play for the Cowboys now. And Felix Jones is just too fast for defenses, it seems. He can explode for these big 40-yarders, just fly through the way he gets to the line real fast and explodes. It's gonna be make for an exciting season for the Cowboys. Unfortunately, he had to go out with this game with a knee strain, and they're evaluating him for next week's availability against Denver. But Barber could be ready for the next game, and he has had impressive few weeks. And it'll be good to have him back in case Felix can't make it back for Denver. Denver are 3-0, so it could make for a tough game. They won Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Oakland, which weren't really impressive teams, but Cincinnati did win Pittsburgh last week, which kind of puts Denver at a serious threat. You never know how they're going to be, but as long as Dallas plays their game and plays like the second half of the last game, we should have no problem beating them. As long as the game plan goes correctly and the defense holds like they did, it should be a good win. I'm really impressed how the Cowboys got motivated after the half and won. On YouTube, friends with Shango from Dallas Cowboys show says he hasn't seen a team play like this since the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers in '95. There's something about that change at halftime that brought the Cowboys together as a team. It could shape our team into a winning team. It could affect throughout the season. It could carry on this motivational change. I've seen it happen before, and just something that where they get that feeling that they don't want to be that team that's stuck not winning, and their talent is better than what they're showing on the field. It could bring them together as a team, and I think it will. It's something the defense needed because it's their first season together with new players like Keith Brookings, Igor Shansky, Jenkins, and Gerald Sessenbaugh, and Spencer just starting, taking over Ellis's job, and also you have Victor Butler in the mix now with a couple of sacks at the end of the game, and you got to watch out for him. He might be playing more if Spencer don't get in there as much, and would be good relief for him. And also there's Jason Williams, the first round draft choice, which we should be seeing in the next few weeks here soon, coming off an injury. Criticized players like Romo and Newman before this game were criticized for the last game's play. Completely changed the game to influence the win. Newman's interception for a touchdown capped off the win and kind of put it out of reach. I feel enthusiastic about this team's game plan, players, and how they're correcting mistakes like turnovers and tackling better now. Dallas played Denver 4:15 on Fox, and let's see the Cowboys continue to come together in this team and win to get to 3-1. And go Cowboys.